PPP. I have to be careful with this. I have to be careful with how I address this, because there are many PPP fan zones in my fan zone. So if I'm too much of a dick, people are gonna get angry. And to be honest, I don't even want to be a dick to PPP. Like I don't mind making fun of Ralph, but I don't mind making fun of PPP. I just don't want to be unfair to him. And I try not to be unfair to Ralph. I think what I say about Ralph is pretty fair. My point is, I'm not trying to be an asshole, okay? But I would be remiss not to mention this. So there is a guy who streams named PPP. Some of you may have heard about him. But for the sake of posterity, in case you're someone who's listening, if you're like someone who's like, you're like a 50-year-old grandmother and you're listening to this for the first time because it got suggested to you on like an Amber Lynn stream, and you're like sitting there crocheting with really big ass needles thinking like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about, but I'm listening anyways. Was a really fat guy, and he started this weight loss challenge. And there's a lot of history to him. I don't know how to sum him up. He's basically just a shit stirrer. And he started a weight loss competition, and he besmirched my tradition of eating pizza on Friday. And because him and his roommate are like on this huge weight loss challenge and are forsaking pizza, they have succumbed to the hangry. And hangry is when you are both hungry and angry at the same time. So PPP and his roommate Surfer, who is like the most schizoid, far-right pulltard ever, despite being slightly ethnically Jewish, cohabitate and are like real bros, and they say like, I love you, bro, like to that kind of bro. They have like a good old-fashioned bro down. But they broke up. They had like a proper fight on stream, and Surfer cut it off. And I have that clip now. I'm just going to play it because I really don't know how else to describe this without just showing it.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm kind of done with this segment. I really don't give a shit about Andy and his coping. I don't give a I've been here for 4 or 5 hours listening to the ramblings of a drunk, you know, and you know,
so that's
drunk, buddy. Is it me or you?
That's a slight at Surfer. Like they've been through like. I'm just explaining that they both had something to drink, but PPP is accusing him of being a drunk. Here's just in case you've never watched their streams, I should explain this. PPP is the guy who runs the show, basically. And historically, when PPP says something, sometimes Surfer will chime in. He'll be in the background doing whatever the and then they'll be like, no, buddy, it's not like that. You got to understand. Then he'll explain something like bizarre, just completely detached from it, like insane rambling, and then it'll shift back onto PPP might say something, but he'll move on, and people like Surfer because he's I don't know, he's funny. His interruptions were funny, but I think he got like a huge chip on his shoulder over time, and he started thinking like, no, people really like me, and I'm now half the show. But when he starts getting really, really interruptive, it just breaks the flow of things because there's no like rhythm to it. PPP won't finish his thought, and then Surfer will say like, oh, you know, I agree with that for the most part, but I disagree on this, or I want to add some context to that. It'll be like PPP will be like halfway through a sentence, and he'll just start talking about like bullshit. And it's even worse when PPP is saying something and then that's like true, and then he'll disagree because of like political reasons. He was talking about, I think it was even that I think it was even about Ralph, that he was dating someone like under 18. It was something about being like a 36-year-old man and dating someone who's like 18 years old. And PPP made the very dangerous claim that 36-year-olds should not be dating 18-year-olds. People literally half their age. And then he just goes like, no, buddy, that's when women are like the most fertile. We got to get white women knocked up and shit. The Jews don't want us to have 18-year-olds pregnant. And PPP's just like, that's... And that's what I mean by his interruptions becoming like schizo bullshit as opposed to like things normal people would say. And it really started to with the show, because it's one thing to interrupt and then have like a divergence with like a weird take from, Pole. But then it's another thing where it completely stops the momentum. PPP gets on his sermon. He's like a preacher man. He's I think he was like a youth pastor at some point. So he literally goes into like preacher mode and he starts rocking back and forth away from the mic like this, and he starts hollering and he starts going off and he makes his point. And then when Surfer interrupts and just like contradicts him to say like, no, that's what Whitey needs to do. It's like, whoa, you're interrupting the sermon here. We're not all here to hear the word of PPP, and you're not invited at this point. You need to hold your tongue until he's done with his rocking back and forth, insane rambling shit. So that's what's going on here. They've reached a point where he's really obviously annoyed with the interruptions. He says that he's being that way because he's drunk. Surfer doesn't take that well because he's been accused of like being a drunk or something. So he becomes he postures against PPP. PPP is someone who's like a foot taller than him and weighs twice as much as him. So he's kind of physically imposing in the situation that we'll see.
It is you. You're drunk.
You sure, buddy?
You're drunk.
Am I the drunk, buddy?
Yeah, you are the
me?
drunk. And it's irritating, man. And I do 4 or 5 hours of this shit constantly, and I just let you give your bullshit and spew it and run your dick liquor. But I honestly get tired of it sometimes, and I push back on it.
Okay, buddy. Well, I won't run my quote unquote dick liquor. Next time I'll just stay out of the video. How about that, buddy? You think you can make the same level of content without Surfer, buddy?
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Like,
I'll just stay out of it. That's it. What do you think,
You do
chat?
what you want to do, man.
One, if you want me to stay out of it, Two, if Surfer makes the content. If Surfer brings the content.
I don't know, dude. Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
1.5, says someone. No, I'll just off, buddy.
Well, you take it very seriously. Well, I don't know, dude. You can say all the bullshit you want, but when I push back a little bit, then it gets serious, and you're like, I'm going to quit the show.
No, I didn't say that. I actually said, why so serious? And I said, you don't need to take it as such a
I just don't understand why you have to keep derailing a show endlessly that I'm trying to get through. I'll cut you off if I want. And what will you do?
If you're not going to show me the respect, I'm not going to show you the respect. And the reality is, Ashton, without me, your show would suck.
Dude, you're delusional. That's just delusional, Surfer.
I am what fucking makes your show,
okay, buddy. Like, that's an ego talking. That's an ego talking right there.
That's like super. I can't even imagine how Surfer came to this conclusion that he is what makes the show. I actually think he smokes a lot of weed. And I know that cannabinoids exacerbate the symptoms of schizophrenia, and they can even make them appear earlier in people. And Surfer's right at the end of that age range where schizotypo symptoms will emerge. And he talked about how he had like delusions of godhood, how when he was like a kid or a teenager, he was a Luciferian, quote unquote, and how he wanted to become God, and he thought he could become God by doing something. So I think he has a schizotypal personality disorder, and his smoking weed has like exacerbated this over the last couple months, and now he's like full-blown, a literal pole schizo, who thinks that this show is like PPP's camera sermons are about him because he interjects every so often.
But it won't.
That's ego talking right there, buddy.
And not only that, but I take care of you in the household. I am the man. And you're going to show me this level of disrespect on fucking camera?
Buddy, don't be a hero. Buddy, don't be a hero.
No,
don't be a man.
Fucking hero, buddy.
Are you being serious?
This right here. Look at this. Look at this eye contact. He like this guy's to lean back and like stare him down and shit, and this became like a meme. That's why I called this "Don't Be a Hero.mp4."
What do you think's going to happen?
What, are you going to try to fight me?
What are you doing?
When I take care of you?
What are you talking about, buddy?
I'm
like, what fucking world are you living in?
I already said I love you, brother. And you're going to try to press me?
You're drunk. I'm sober. Calm down.
You want to know how much longer I'm going to take care of you and be your father?
Are you
and
okay?
literally direct you in life and pay
Surfer,
for you
are
to
you
live
okay?
and cook for you and clean up after you when you
You're
shit
drunk.
on the toilet every day?
Dude, you're
when
drunk.
you shit on the toilet seat and I have to clean it up after you because you
So
don't
you
know
clean
how to
up
take
my
care
shit
of
like
yourself?
a bitch?
Okay, buddy. Well, you can move out then. That's fine.
Okay, buddy, you're a
That's
tough
enough
man.
of that.
What the are you doing? You can't even shut off a stream, you drunk.
Oh, I'm drunk, buddy.
So that's the official breakup. A little bit after this, another stream came on out of the blue, and this is what we see.
So here we have RJ calling the police.
I need help. I just need him gone. He's just threatening me again. He said he's moving out in the morning, but he's just threatening me again. I just need him gone.
How did he assault you?
No.
He just came up to me. He just
Like,
came up to me.
what are you talking about,
And
dude?
and
You're
he
wasting
said,
everyone's time.
He said he was gonna f me up. He came up to me right in my face.
Dude, like,
and
what
said,
are you
"What do
talking
wanna
about?
do?
You're having a
What do you
meltdown.
want to do?"
He lies there. He hesitates because he knows he's being recorded, and he doesn't want to say what was actually said. This was said later, and I'll just summarize it so we don't have to watch the whole stream. But he lies there when he says he's gonna f me up. That's a fib.
No, he didn't actually hit me because I've walked out and called the police because I need him gone. I
What a
don't want it to get
crybaby
to
you
that
are.
point.
You know everybody's gonna see this and think you're a loser.
Yes. I let him sleep on my couch.
I'm on the lease for the apartment.
No, you're
Call
not.
the landlord. I'm leaving in the morning, dude. Like,
What's your name?
what is your problem?
My name's Robert Finley.
You're such a little bitch. Like, for real, dude. This is sad.
You're 2B.
This is the big bad surfer.
I'm in 2B.
calling the police. For
Buddy,
not
I don't
an
want to have a
assault.
problem with you. I want you out
Buddy,
of my fucking
I'm
house.
leaving in like a few hours. I'm calling my
Buddy, you
brother. I
just
would already be
threatened
out.
me?
I didn't threaten you. You were being a dick.
Buddy,
and
you
now
just
you're calling
walked
the
up into my
police.
face
What a
and
crybaby.
said you're a little
This is
bitch. What are you
Surfer's
gonna
big
do?
bad reputation.
Robert.
This is crazy.
His name's Ashton Parks. Ashton Joel
I've done
Parks.
nothing wrong, so good luck. My name is on the lease.
I don't
like,
care. I just want you gone so you
You're
don't
such a
threaten me again.
crybaby.
That's it.
This is crazy. Like, are you really gonna send officers here to waste their time? I'm leaving
I
in the
don't want
morning.
to waste the officer's time. It's just you
Dude.
just threatened me, Ashton.
Dude, I didn't threaten you. You're
You
crazy.
did. You
You're
stood
acting
in my
crazy.
face and threatened me with violence.
Dude, you're acting crazy. Like,
It's
the
not
police are
alright.
gonna come here. It's gonna be a waste of their time. They're gonna say, "Sleep it off, boys. He's leaving in the morning," and that's gonna be the resolution.
Buddy, I'm
You
just
can't act like
I'm just
this.
trying to eat something and go to bed.
Dude,
and you just
you're
got in my
wasting
face and
everybody's
threatened me.
time. I'm leaving in the morning. Like,
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Okay. You have a bedroom there?
I do.
Yeah. Go in the bedroom and close the door.
I can't lock the door.
I didn't say that. I said go in the bedroom and close the door. I'll talk with officers tomorrow when they're available. You guys can stay away from each other until the officers get there.
Well,
All right, let's take a double look at that. Look at that garbage. RJ, clean it up.
as soon as I get in the house, I'm scared he's gonna threaten me again.
I'm not gonna do anything, dude. Like, get real.
You want your freedom, take it. That's what I'm counting on. I used to want you dead, but now I only want you gone.
Every time he said that, I kept thinking of that song, so I had to pull it up so I could play it. What apparently PPP actually said to you know what? I have another song. I have so many songs for this stream. Where is it? Oh, here. This is for Surfer. That's Go to Church by Ice Cube featuring Snoop Dogg. Anyways, he goes on live stream on Odyssey and he says that PPP threatened to him. He didn't threaten to him up, as he hesitantly said on the phone while being recorded, because he was afraid to admit it while being recorded. But later on, he felt more at ease to say that no, PPP threatened to him. Now, everyone who's a PPP defender said to the PPPA logs in the thread, when you say that you're gonna someone, it's just the thing that, you know, it means like I'm gonna beat you up, I'm gonna own you, bro, I'm gonna pwn you. But RJ, I mean, really, PPP could threaten to, like, could him if he really wanted to. The guy is literally like half his size. So he felt intimidated enough to go ahead and take it to the police, apparently, which resulted in me making a post. Okay, based on the fact that of how that conversation went, based on the fact that they've never had a woman on their streams ever, based on the fact that they openly, easily say that they love each other, and based on the fact that I think PPP has said he's a virgin because he's waiting to marriage before having sex, I think they're gay. I think that I've always kind of had a suspicion that they're gay, but if I say that, people will get mad at me. I'm not. I know what brotherly love is. I'm not like a complete troglodyte who has never met another, like, had like a male friend in his entire life. I know what it's like to have a bro. I've been playing Dota with my bro. Okay. I have never had an argument that sounded quite like a breakup with a girlfriend before, and I'm pretty sure that the police filed that call under like a domestic relationship issue. Because what the else would you file it as? Like, if you were a police officer, what the would you file that as? I would file it as a domestic, right? Like a breakup, like a couple falling out and needing the police to deal with it for them. So PPP tried to own that post by making this video as like a joke, but...
Well, guys, I just have to admit the truth. If I'm going to be honest with myself, Josh was right. I have to just come clean to you all. Me and Surfer are gay. We've always been gay. Always been gay. Gay lovers together. As gay as it gets, you know? We're and I'm not gonna be ashamed of it anymore. The tree now of this breakup has gotten so intense, we're actually breaking metric levels of tree, that I've just realized I have to put on the mask. Surfer, I gotta put on the mask, buddy. I'm gonna get my vaccine passport or whatever there with the mask or whatever there, buddy. You see, buddy, we're gay, buddy. It is what it is. Josh was right all along, and we're gay. We're gay. Like, honestly, did anybody really think that we weren't gay? Is there anybody out there who looks at, like, my glorious man tits, like, totally manscaped, my immaculate, waxed and bleached asshole?
I forgot to mention that also. PPP became famous because when he was like A-logging Ralph on Stream.me way back when, he got really up and drunk and he spread his ass on camera. And it is really remarkable how completely hairless that butthole is. I've not seen a lot of male asses, but I'm pretty sure that most men have hair on their ass, and that ass is wax. He has had a Brazilian. He has waxed his butthole, and there's only one reason I can think of someone waxing their butthole, and that is because they expect anal. And I believe that PPP is a homosexual, almost in large part because of the waxed anus theory.
And doesn't think that we're gay? Like, of course we've been gay this whole time. Duh. Like, Who cares? This shit's gay. We're and I'm gonna be proud of being a the tree is so immense. I gotta be proud. Like we've reached, me and Surfer tonight, a whole new level of tree that I don't think anyone's ever seen before. This is like biblical level tree. You know, I did him. I'll be honest, I him. When we had that fight naked, it wasn't just the threat, I did him. Lately I've been...
Okay, I'll cut it there.
Just getting sick of it because he doesn't give the head that he used to give. Like...
Okay, I need that little click sound effect that they use in Jim Can't Swim, where they pause like the interrogation footage to interject. I believe the psychological thingy, mabob, that PPP is employing here is like a facetious confession. Like, he feels the pressure. Everyone knows that he's a homosexual who just had a domestic with his alt-right neo-Nazi Jewish boyfriend. And now he has to alleviate the pressure. But subconsciously, he wants to tell the truth. So he says, facetiously, oh yeah, sure, I'm gay, right? Ha ha ha. And that alleviates the psychological tension of having the guilt of having to hide the secret, but it says it in a way that may not have social complications for him. Unclicky sound effect. Continue interrogation footage. No, for real. That's what it. That's my. I took psychology 101. Actually, not even 101. Just psychology 100 in college for my general associate's degree. That's my take on that. I'm not serious. No, that's literally how it is to me. That's what I see. I'm not coping. I'm not sneezing. That's just what I see, chat. Josh can't swim. In the layman's terms, it's called the salty cope. Exactly. Okay, that's my PPP segment. There is a video, and then I'll wrap up, and I have a special outro song for everybody. Someone made this, I think, for the forum. I don't remember who did it, but thank you for whoever it is that made this.
Sargoy says he has to quit, he has to be happy. Well, that's kind of like the thing is, it's like, we talked about it. He wanted to quit because he wants to live a real life. I can't blame him. You know, and it's like, man, well, you're so talented, you're so good at what you do. But at the same time, does it bring you any benefit in your life? Not really. You know, I almost wish I retired with him. After the Golden Guns, we had a conversation where we said, do we retire? Do we stop? Is this where we both retire? Because I thought, honestly, if you're retiring, well, I mean, if you think it's smart to retire, I'm not going to doubt you on that. But then, you know, the shit with Gahul happened where Gahul criticized Adam and said Adam's editing was shitty. So Gahul had to get felted. And then it was like, I'm retiring again. And it's like, okay, you know, like, what can you do? Like, he has a real life, folks. He's an aristocrat. Like, it's a charity that he even comes on here to talk to people in the first place. Surfer is too honest and trusts chat too much. Hope he takes a break from the internet. Well, me too, man, because the thing is, like, I see where that's going. Like, if Surfer starts doing full-time streams and he starts, like, because he's already talking to guys, like, on Telegram, like, taking voice calls from them, shit like this, and trusting those guys, I'm just saying, man, they'll f*** him up. He doesn't know what he's dealing with, and he really, like, I protected him from a lot of bullshit, and he can't, like, he just doesn't realize what's going on. Sorry. Hey, you're kind of right. Retiring would not be a bad idea for me, and the reality is it's coming. Don't expect me to be around forever. You can't expect that of me. You can't expect that of me to be around forever. Eventually, I have to live a real life. You know. So. Anyway, we gotta focus back on this.
Looking for attention.
I want to give them to you so you can
Oh, you nigger! What the fuck?